Playful Pat and the Money Challenge. By Lisa Kelly. Pat was known to be quite playful. When his big eyes sparkled and his little freckles twitched, you never knew what Pat would be up to next. As Halloween crept closer, Pat decided he just had to be a transformer. He thought Halloween was a bit scary, so if he was a transformer, he would be able to defend himself. But there was one problem: the costume cost $39.99. "Mom, I really want to be a transformer," Pat pleaded. His mom smiled and said, "You can be a transformer, but you'll need to save up half the money. That means you need $19.99. Pat's eyes widened. $19.99? That's a lot. But I can do it. Then his mom reminded him. Actually, with tax, it will cost $20.55. Tax? Pat was confused. His mom explained that when they buy things, they also pay a little extra, called tax, which helps pay for things like roads, schools, firefighters, and even playgrounds. Pat thought that was pretty cool, but it did mean he needed to earn a little more. "What can I do to make $20.55? Pat asked. His mom suggested, "How about this? If you keep your room clean, I'll pay you $2 a week. And if you help walk Lucky, the dog, I'll give you $2 for each walk." Pat thought for a moment and figured it out. "So, if I clean my room and walk Lucky 3 times a week, I can make $8 a week. That means in 3 weeks, I'll have enough to get my costume and maybe even a little extra." Pat was determined. The first week, he kept his room spotless and earned his $2. He put it in a jar labeled Transformer $. He also walked Lucky 3 times, enjoying the fresh air and talking to his mom during their walks. By the end of the week, Pat had earned $8, 3 crisp dollar bills and 1 $5 bill. He was on his way. Meanwhile, his sister Shannon had her own plan. She wanted to buy a princess costume with sparkly jewels, but it cost $19.99. Her mom told her the same thing: she'd have to save up half, plus tax, which came to $10.20. Shannon was ready for the challenge. To earn her money, Shannon offered to pick up the neighbor's mail every day for a week, earning 10 cents per letter. The neighbor, Mr. Jenkins, was very popular and received 40 letters in a week. Shannon made $4 just from the mail. Then, she helped her mom dust the house for $2 and kept her room neat and tidy for another $2. Shannon's jar, labeled Princess Fund, was quickly filling up. Pat watched his sister working hard and got inspired. "If Shannon can do it, so can I," he thought. Then, she helped her mom dust the house for $2 and kept her room neat and tidy for another $2. The second week was a little tougher for Pat. The mischievous leprechaun, Pat's excuse for the mess, visited his room, and it was a disaster. No $2 this week for keeping his room clean. And he only walked Lucky twice, so he only made $4. But Pat didn't give up. He counted his money: $8 from last week plus $4 made $12. He still needed $8.55. Mom encouraged him, "Pat, if you keep your room clean, you won't lose money. And remember, every walk counts." Pat nodded, determined to get back on track. He cleaned his room, even though it took him a few hours. He got a little distracted playing with his cars. His mom gave him $2, bringing his total to $14. Only $6.55 left to go. "Shannon, on the other hand, was doing great. In the next 2 weeks she earned $4 by kept her room tidy. She was there. Shannon had saved more than enough. She had $12. Pat decided to work extra hard. Pat needed to keep his room clean and take the dog for 3 more walks. Finally, he had enough. His mom took the children to the store, and Pat proudly handed over the money he had worked so hard to save. Shannon also met her goal and picked out the prettiest princess costume with twinkling jewels. That Halloween, Pat was a Transformer hero, and Shannon twirled around like a Greek princess. Both of them felt proud, knowing they had worked hard and earned their costumes fair and square.